Hey friends, this is Matt. This is the Holdup Project. Back at you again with a little different thing today. We're gonna go ahead and work on old Blue Hair. We redid the transmission in this recently. I used the Sonnax kit in the valve body, and I'm experiencing a little bit of issue. And I believe we've got a sticky valve, so we've got the valve body down. Symptoms today: second to third gear clunk, fourth to fifth gear clunk, or second to third gear flare, fourth to fifth gear flare. It's got to be either in the shift valve over here for third and fifth, or the compensator feed. So, and the reason why I say that is because it's very irregular. If you had a problem with your 3.5R drum, it would be constantly slipping. So I've got a new kit here. This one's made by Shift Technologies. Sometimes they'll go by Superior or Translab. And I haven't seen a whole lot about this valve body update. So we're gonna pull the Sonnax out of here. We're gonna discuss the differences in both. And then we're gonna go back with this Translab or Superior, if you wanna call it that. So, Sonnax has you change the spring on your shift select valves here, on shift select valve 2 and 3. And then they give you an O-ring plug. Okay, so Translab, very similar. They have their own spring and they give you a steel valve. I'm kind of thinking I'm liking the steel valve a little bit more. We're going to find out. They also give you the O-ring plug. So you put their valve in, their spring, and then their O-ring plug. And this is very simple. We've got the, you just see me drop my spring. We've got our valve body cleaned in these areas here with brake clean and then aired out. And what we're gonna look for is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tip that valve up, and that's just gonna fall right on in. If it doesn't fall in, go get yourself some of these bench buddies. They're basically bottle brushes with some abrasive, a light abrasive on them. And you just hook them on a drill and give it a couple passes and blow it out with brake clean and shop air, and you're good. You want those valves to fall freely in each one of the bores, and then go ahead and put your spring and bore plug in. So we'll blow this off here since it landed on the floor, and we'll put our bore plug in. All right, now that we've got our new clutch select valves in and our O-ring bore plugs with our new springs, what I like to always do is just reach in here, give a little bean flick, make sure that nothing's hung up, do it on both sides. Simple stuff, but it's enjoyable. Okay, now we're gonna flip her around. We're gonna focus on the other end. We're gonna clean this up, take the valves out, make sure the bores are clean, and then we're gonna replace the compensator feed and the torque converter clutch lineup with our Shift Technologies. So we'll get these plucked out of there. Again, the Sonnax uses a sleeve here and a new valve, and the Shift Technologies, I believe, just uses a slightly oversized valve. We'll find out when we get there. Let me pull these valves out and I'll bring you back. Okay, here we go. We've got our new compensator feed that we're going to use. Now this is very GM-esque, the shape and style of it, you could say. Here's our Sonnax one that we pulled out. It uses a sleeve, aluminum sleeve, and an anodized valve on the inside with their own spring. Again, we're using the spring from Superior here, and we're just going to drop this in. Now, on this other side, this is torque converter clutch lockup. We have a 3-piece valve here, and If you put it in correctly, you'll have absolutely no problem. So you have the what I'll call the bore plug end that fits into the shuttle valve, which then fits into the actual torque converter lockup valve and the spring on the Sonnax side. If you get it all together correctly, the valve retainer will slip over the end there and all as well. And you'll be able to tell there's nothing wrong with this valve setup. It actually worked just fine, but we're not going to mix and match today. So here we are with the shuttle valve from Superior, and then their valve and their own spring. These will fit in either side of the valve body respectively, and then you'll still use your retainer for each. So I'm going to go ahead and drop them in, and then we'll do a vacuum test on them, make sure that everything should work just as well as it should. This one will vacuum test on this side, and then the torque converter lockup will vacuum over here. I kind of like the rings on the new valve here. The idea, I believe, is for the schmutz and stuff to be not holding the valve up, so to speak, giving it a place to fall out and be exhausted into the transmission. Because as we all know, these transmissions here have a terrible time with torque converter material and failure. So I mean, if your torque converter is failing, you're never going to cure that. It's going to need a whole new transmission rebuild and converter. But this is, for clutch material and stuff to be shed away. Okay, everybody's living at home where they need to be. I'll put the retainers in and get to vacuum testing. All right, our next action item that we're going to address is they're calling this the compensator restrictor. Basically what they're telling you is you're going to grab this little guy, and it has a small hole on one end and a big hole on the other. And it's saying that we're going to place the bore plug right here. They go on to say to place the plug in the hole or in the area, small end facing up. And if it sticks up that far with no pressure added, you need to flip that over, that little pill, and install it with the large side facing up. So we're going to go ahead and do that. These things appear to be tapered. They say it's supposed to catch about halfway, which that appears to be as such. And then it says to place a 7mm or equivalent washer and around the plug, and gently tap the compensator restrictor down until flush with the washer. But they're looking for a protrusion from the valve body face to the top of the restrictor plug of 70 thousandths, 60 to 70 thousandths. So that's what we'll do. It also says here that the plug should stick up about a 1/16 of an inch above the valve body surface, and with the plate on the valve body, it should be 15 to 20 thousandths above flush with the gasket. So this is the gasket that they're talking about, and we'll go ahead and tap this down as best as we can and follow the instructions as they call out. I believe they're saying the reasoning for this on the opposite side here is that the two holes mentioned are the two areas, and then the hole mentioned in the separator plate over exhaust the backfill circuits. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep that fluid up there, because that's what essentially feeds your compensator feed. Nice instructions, nice big sheet. You can read them easily. It gives the explanation of what their kit is striving to offer. Basically, with this kit, you can use any valve body that you have. And we're pretty close. I mean, I think we're within. So, let's go ahead and put our gasket on. This is a new one. And we're sticking up just above. I mean, we can catch our fingernail on it with a glove on it, so I'm going to say that's an acceptable use. I think we could probably measure that between probably the minimum, so about 15 thousandths. So that's that. I did vacuum test the compensator feed. We're at about 13 inches of vacuum in this port here, which is considerably lower than what Sonnax says is acceptable. They're saying that Sonnax is saying that 18 is the acceptable number, and of course they can hit that every time with their valve assembly here. But we're gonna try it. I mean, what's the worst thing I gotta do? Pull this thing out, do it again. But yeah, I'll end up keeping hold of this just in case we got to. But I checked for wear and I checked for gumminess and stuff on that. I couldn't find anything. And our compensator feed up in the truck, like if you apply air to that one certain hole that we showed, which is that one right there in the middle, it works all day long. So let's go ahead and check out these other valves on the opposite side of the valve body and see what we can come up with there. Maybe we got a gummy valve. So we'll clean up this side, and believe it's this one. We'll find out. We'll look her up. We'll get right back at it. All right, now that we've got all of our valve body mods done, let's go ahead and focus on the separator plate. They have a couple of holes they want us to drill, so let's go ahead and get them drilled. Here is your first design plate, and then the ID code is this style. This is your second design plate with a slightly different ID code, as you can kind of see there. The second iteration for the second design separator plate, and that's what we're using here. Like I had stated before earlier in the video, you don't have to buy a new gasket, or I'm sorry, a new separator plate or anything like that. This kit will retrofit back to version 1. So this is the latest and greatest separator plate. If you don't have this separator plate, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and pound the supplied aluminum plug that they give you and then drill it to 55 thousandths. This is the newest, most updated separator plate, so we don't have to worry about any of that nonsense, and our hole is already at 55. That's from the factory. Now, let's go ahead and move on over here. This is our second and sixth gear feed orifice. We're going to drill that to 062. And this one, we're going to 055. They've supplied the drill bits for us. You can see them laying right here. So let's go ahead and get those drilled, and then we'll take the two halves of the separator plate, we'll mate them together, and we'll torque everything down just as you would normally. So what did I find out about old blue hair here? What was wrong with it? Well, there was a gummy 3.5R valve in the valve body. had like a little raised burr on it, probably from the torque converter metal material whizzing through the valve body that I didn't catch on the first time I reassembled it. But we got her fixed, and this Superior valve body kit, boy does it work out awesome. Smooth shifts. The Sonnax had smooth shifts too, but I'm really liking the tech support of Superior. I really like the simplicity of the valve body mods. We put that thing back up in there. We've got almost 8,000 miles on this transmission already, and it's just kicking ass every day. And speaking of kicking ass every day, you guys should too. So we'll keep kicking ass, you keep kicking ass, and we'll see you next Friday on the Hole Up Project. Thanks for watching.